We have special group where I have announced it, and also broadcast in 1 second to in the YouTube. We have special group where I have announced it. Already. So hi guys, we are here. 1 second to in the YouTube. I'm very happy that today we have this broadcasting, and hopefully that we will have a lot of tips, a lot of really useful information which we can use in our everyday life. Today I have the guest with me, one of the best marketers on our planet, as I have announced already. So I would like to introduce you to Paul OMahony, international speaker on the topics of digital marketing, marketing psychology, and monetization of business. So few things about you, please, Paul, before we will start to speak about our main topic today, artificial intelligence marketing, and I think that you have some secrets how to promote it better. Can you tell a few words about your way to this digital business sphere and what you have achieved already?
Okay, sure, and thank you, Olga, for having me here today. I started my online journey in 2009. So I'm the son of two teachers. So my education and upbringing was very much along the, get yourself a permanent job, get yourself a pensionable permanent job. So I graduated in science, in biochemistry and chemical engineering, which I don't use at all, but worked in a US multinational corporation for 9 years. And as part of that, they were big into further education. I got myself an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, and became a project management professional. But at age 30, 9 years into my job, I kind of had this wake-up moment where I had done everything I was supposed to do correctly, got the good job, had the car, had my own house, had a rental house, but somehow I was €500,000 in debt, in negative equity. I didn't own my own car, and just I started questioning things, thinking how on earth is this considered success? That you are financially better off as a 9-year-old than you are as a 30-year-old, and that was when I started to look around at different opportunities. And I went to an event in Ireland in 2009 where there were marketers speaking about how they were living this completely different lifestyle to me. They were working from a laptop. They could work wherever they wanted in the world. They could choose their own hours. They could sell whatever products and services that they wished. And I was immediately hooked. And I started investing in learning how to do that. I went to a Tony Robbins conference. I ended up quitting my job, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody. But within a few months, after getting very specific coaching and mentoring around this, I had matched my salary. And within a year, we'd made $1 million from that very first business, which was just incredible to me that was able to happen. And since then, built a team of coaches and experts on different topics on marketing as part of the Rethink Academy. And we support clients all over the world. And I also set up a company helping children and teens learn about money and about entrepreneurship so that I can kind of help the next generation, learn about this before they become adults and actually set themselves up for success rather than having to repeat the process that so many of us as adults have had to do, which is to unlearn a lot of outdated thought processes around success in life, especially as it lends itself to financial know-how.
Okay, thank you very much for this various fields in your life introduction. Do you believe that marketing is immortal? And do you use some robots, some bots, some artificial intelligence in your work?
Do I believe marketing is immortal? Well, I guess it kind of depends on what type of marketing you do. I do certainly believe that poor marketing, marketing that might destroy your reputation, that becomes immortal. I don't think good marketing is immortal. I think it keeps you going, but bad marketing can be permanent. And that's something that's really important when it comes to, I think, artificial intelligence and bot-related marketing, is that you can ruin a really good reputation that you've built up over years by suddenly making it feel, if not done correctly, impersonal and almost, numeric based, as opposed to that personal touch and making people feel heard and that their questions are getting answered. So that's just something to be very careful with.
Okay, I hope, guys, I will share here the links to the Paul's accounts and his courses, and I think we can learn even more, because today in half an hour, of course, it is not possible to discuss all the possible issues which can happen in marketing, so we will study it more. Paul, I will share now my screen and tell a few words about the product which we have, and I would like to know your advices. If it would be your personal task to develop this business, how would you do it? So we are here, we have this green field which is called Marketbot. It is a real artificial intelligence robot which can predict future demand of different people. How? Because it is based on Google Analytics, on the Yandex Metrica, on a lot of international tools. So when a robot predicts some demand on some products, it goes to different internet resources, to social media, and advertise it in the proper places. So joining together target audience and the products which this target audience is looking for. So people see what they are really searching, then they go to shop because of this recommendation of robot buying something in the shop. The Marketbot is now cooperating with more than 20,000 shops globally, AliExpress, eBay, and others and others. And when people buy something, shop pays commission to robot because it helps to sell. So this is a self-efficient scheme itself, and it is working. But also Marketbot is cooperating with investors, this red lady here, who can give investment money. Robot will spend it for advertising, and when the shop will pay commission, robot will spend it, give almost half the money to investor and half money to itself because it was working. So this is generally the business. If you would be here next to this red lady, what would you recommend? Some tools, maybe some specific sources, way to go, and how to advertise, how to promote, how to arrange the marketing of such investments in the most smart way?
So this person though isn't paying. Let me just understand this. Investor is just investing in the bot itself, right?
Yes, this investor can do three things. This investor can be totally passive, just give to robot money and have plus 35% income. This investor can go to these shops, buy something, upload the receipts, and have the cash back from its own shopping, smart shopping. And this investor can also share his referral link to different other people. When they are investing, this investor have additional income from referral system. So, and of course, the majority of our listeners today, they are investors here. They are interested to promote it and to have more partners globally. Already more than 4 million people in the world are using this system, more than 4 million investors globally. And so this is developing very rapidly, but we are still greedy for information. We want to know how to do it even better. To create my personal Instagram account and promote, or to tell to my friend, or to create my BBC channel, what better to do, from what site to come here if I would like to advertise it, not only mouth to mouth, but to arrange proper marketing campaign.
Okay. So I guess assuming that the person is quite comfortable with publicly sharing, on social media, I'm going to make that assumption from the outset. I think one of the most powerful things that can always be done is sharing results, especially if you're talking about 30% passive income off of this. Start with the social network that you're most comfortable in. So that, for some people, that could be Instagram. For some people, it could be TikTok. For some, it could be Twitter. It depends on that individual. And just get accustomed to sharing results without it being necessarily salesy. It's like hey, another day of this, another day of this. By the way, if you're interested in this, just reach out to me here. Very soft, because the thing with social media is, remember, people are not there to be sold to, and that's what often damages, or I guess when people are looking for referrals or partners, they sometimes can get a bad name because they're overly aggressive in their approach to people. They forget that when people are on social media, they're there to be entertained, right? They want to be excited. They're there because they need a break from their lives. So the thing I always say about social media is change the word me to you, say social udia. What does that other person, what do they want to see that would get them excited, right? Is it, oh, sign up and become a referral partner? No, it's not. They're not on social media to see that. They're probably there because they're not happy in their job. They've got a few minutes free at break time. They're, right now coming out of COVID, there's so many people in jobs that don't want to go back to the office. They want to work from home. They're looking for alternative sources of income. So if you can get your messaging along those lines where that person feels like, wow, they are talking to me, as in when it really sounds like you understand them, as opposed to being a salesperson, it's a very different dynamic. So when you're thinking about your posts, it's how do I get into the mindset of somebody who is ideal to partner with me in this, rather than, how do I, put up this link and get more people to sign up. And the more that you can come out with those sort of that kind of communication, inviting responses, finishing with a question mark. What do you think? What would be your ideal type of scenario? How many hours a day would you ideally like to work? And asking people questions where they're now thinking in terms of their life as opposed to your business. They're starting to imagine a future where possibilities actually exist, as opposed to, it's so easy nowadays to look at something on the internet and immediately say it's a scam, or just immediately, turn against it. And you got to be careful on social media with that, because you can get blocked, you can get complained about. And oftentimes businesses don't understand why people complain or block. Even charities get complaints and blocks because if you're too blatant about looking for money, too blatant about pushing your business and services, you're going to create a response from the audience that will say, I'm not here for that, and I'm going to push back against you. So it's more create an alliance as opposed to a sales type channel.
Paul, but here is two tricky questions. One of them, first of all, there is the saying that money loves silence. So when people do, and in this marketing, people do really very good money, 50, 70, 100, $200,000 per month. It is really good income. But these people who are doing it, they are not very happy to share this, because maybe somebody will be greedy, or because somebody can jump on you and start to sell something to you when you show that I have money. So how to fix this, that you need to share your results, but by the way, it is even dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, so I get a very good point. So you've got to make a decision here. If you're the personal brand, if you're the personality, like in your case, Olga, you've got to share your results. Or like in my case, I got to show my results. But if I'm instead deciding I'm going to position myself as a brand advocate for something else, I don't have to share my results. I can share the success stories of testimonials that have agreed that you are okay to share their results. So a good example is completely step away from the Marketbot for a moment and think, let's say I'm promoting a weight loss product and I've never been overweight my whole life. There's no point in me sharing, hey, look, I've never had to lose weight, because that doesn't add any value to the product. But I can comfortably say, here's person A, this mom, 55 years of age, lost X number of pounds. This guy, 72 years of age. So that's totally fine. You can position yourself as the storyteller, but you need to make that clear then in your marketing that, hey, I'm that guy, or I'm that girl who's, skeptical. I need to see proof. And, and you want to share the proof of all these other success stories with others. So you just remove yourself one step out. And I started my online business like that because I was uncomfortable sharing anything about my own results, etc. Because you feel you've got so many thoughts going on in the early days that will people believe me? I'm not making as much as this person. That's not impressive enough. So in the early days, for sure, that's a great way to do it, is be that third party who's a reporter as opposed to being the person who is being reported on. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much. You are so literate in this. And I have already the question from our listener. How many hours do I need to study marketing to become a professional from zero?
So again, when I answer that question, the answer starts with it depends. And it has to start with it depends, because it depends on your experience. If you know nothing about business, nothing about marketing, nothing about sales, if you want to make life-changing income, you're going to have to dedicate a few more hours than somebody who's already savvy in business, and they're not starting at what is marketing, what is sales, what is a product, how does this whole thing work. So, I mean, if you're already established in business, you could add half an hour a day, and that would be more than enough to add these marketing streams and product streams to revenues you're already generating. Just like if you're in the gym and you're familiar with going to the gym regularly, and there's a new exercise machine that comes in, you will get the benefit if you're already in the gym. But if you haven't been to the gym in 20 years and you say, could I get away with this once a week for 1 hour? You think, well, it's going to take a lot of time and effort, and you probably won't see the results as quick as you would like them. And that's just the reality of, especially my own company, where I talk to people about rethink, why suddenly, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. If you're the type of person that wants everything now without doing anything, this isn't going to work for you, right? Because you'll start it, you'll jump onto something else, and then something else and something else. But what works in this business or any business is consistency and persistence, that you started with a view to sticking with it. Like any relationship, when you get married, the person that's marrying you says, hey, by the way, you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to be in sickness and in health. And it's the same with a business relationship, is you're going to have good days and bad days. And if you're only in it for the good days, you're going to give up on your first bad day. So like any relationship, business is just about people at the end of the day. If you're just showing up every now and again, that's not a good really sign for somebody that's on the other side doing business with you. They want to see consistency. They want to see you show up regularly. It doesn't mean you have to be there every day, but it means in terms of your marketing, and this is what I do, Olga, is I will create my content once a year, 1 day a year. It's done. It's organized, it's recorded, and then we have social media managers manage that, cut it up, divide it out, and spread it out across the year. So
how many people do you have in your team who are helping you?
With the market, only 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3, but that's not their only role. They help with customer service and those kind of things as well. But that's often what frightens people off of marketing, is that when they hear every day, they feel like they need to be there every day. But in fact, you just need to be sending content out daily and have somebody managing the interactions, especially if you don't enjoy that. If you do enjoy it, it's a different story. But I'm making the assumption that if you're asking that question in the first place, usually it's somebody that wants to spend as little as possible, not as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Otherwise they'd be just saying, oh, amazing, I can't wait. They don't even think in terms of time. You need to love.
Yes. Guys, I have shared, Paul gave for you today the gift, and I shared the link where you can get 3 chapters of main book, Rethink Social Media. So you can go and take it now. Paul, and I will return a little bit to your speech before when you mentioned such a word like scam. Maybe how we can show that we are not totally in that sphere. There are a lot of scam now, and in the internet, in the world, there are a lot of projects which are scamming from the beginning. They are made for this. And sometimes when people hear that 35% per month in dollars, huge income, it cannot be truth. People speak so because they have their previous experience pain, and they are speaking from this pain. But how quickly in the first, let's say, understanding in the first day when people join or people see it, to show that it is totally another sphere. Guys, if you had scam somewhere, I feel sorry to you, but we are speaking about totally another company, a huge group of companies. How to separate it in the most quick way?
But to be honest, I probably it's probably an unusual way of approaching it. But if you start using the language scam, even if you're saying I'm not a scam, all people will hear is you are a scam. So I honestly wouldn't even touch that topic. I wouldn't bring it up. I wouldn't.
But when they touch, if people touch, they do not.
If people bring it up, then you would have standard responses that you can send to them and say, I fully understand. You certainly don't do what a lot of people, try and knock them back and make them wrong, right? It's nothing to do with you that they think it's a scam. It's an experience that they've been through. So I would be empathetic. The response would be, I hear you, I understand. Wow, there is just so much out there right now. It's difficult to tell from one from the other. But here are my assurances why you can be guaranteed that what we do is different. One, here's whatever regulatory body regulates you. Two, here is a link to go to see the testimonials of success stories that continue to be added to every day. Three, if you want to check into my own background and my own business history, you'll see that I've only ever aligned with companies, brands, and organizations who are top quality, top notch, and have stood the test of time. And really all you're doing is addressing the objections that somebody else might quite legitimately have. How long is this around? Prove that it's got longevity, prove that it works for multiple different types of people in different countries for different products. And that can be difficult to do with a new company. But if you do have all of those things and all of that proof, that's amazing, because then it becomes very easy to address and handle those objections.
Super. Thank you.
And that's why, sorry, Olga, but that's why sometimes it is great to work with a bigger company rather than your own personal brand, because usually a bigger company has that reputation. They have people working on reputation management. They have the proof. They've put the money into branding. They've put the money into the product and into the marketing. So you can leverage all of those to be able to address those kind of objections.
Thank you. So we have the next question from our listener, and there are a lot of questions. Really, guys, we have not a lot of time, so please write your questions. Where is the best possible to start to learn and develop ourselves? Any website, book, what you can recommend? And also maybe you will mention the event Business Millionaire School, which we will have in November, offline and online. You will be the speaker there. So the first question, what book, what source would you recommend? And secondly, tell us please a few words about that event, what we can have if we will take a part in it.
Okay, well, I guess because you're interviewing me today, maybe I'll be a little bit selfish and I'll recommend two books of my own. So because I really feel I've been that person who sat in the audience very skeptical, I mean, unbelievably skeptical. Irish people were the most skeptical in the world, so I get it. And I've gone completely to the other side and realized that, most people, their biggest challenge isn't technical inability, isn't not knowing what to do. It's the story that they tell themselves. So from a practical, what to do, strategic type stuff, I would recommend Rethink Social Media. And as you mentioned, we're giving away 4 chapters of that, so you can have a look at that. But also, I wrote a book called Rethink Time Management, which is a best-selling book, which is on Audible. And you can listen to me, I think it's 5 hours long. But in that, I basically am questioning the entire premise of time management and going all the way back to, it's not a problem of managing time. It's inability and lack of clarity on life, on your purpose, your vision, your values. And in today's world, this device, the smartphone, is completely acting as the number one liability worldwide. It's distracting people. It's taking money and time out of their lives. And in that book, I try to explain to them that if you do not take control of this device, you are probably using it as a compass to direct you as to where you should focus next and what you should do next. But I invite you to step back and understand for yourself truly what it is that you want to go after. And, the types of things that you're talking about in terms of marketing, etc., and business opportunities, they work best when it's aligned with a higher purpose from an individual, where they see how this can totally free them up from a time perspective, a money perspective, and keep on mission, on purpose, on vision. 99% of people on the planet are lost, as I call it limbo, this state of lacking important mission-based order. So they end up comparing themselves to other people and end up feeling like we've got so many mental health issues today because so much of it is people comparing their downside to somebody else's upside. So in that book, Rethink Time Management, I encourage people to go inside and take a look, and I give them the exact tools that they need. Like, this is going to cost, like, if you're on Audible, it's free, right? You get a free book every month. So there is no cost to this, but the benefits to you will be absolutely incredible. And especially if you're going to come see me later in the year, in that event that you
Business
mentioned.
School, yes, in November. Guys, I'm sharing here the link to this Millionaire Business School as well. You can check it. So perfect. What you plan to tell there, what people will have if they will participate?
Yeah, so I mean, it's perfect if you can start now and kind of in the lead up to that. So by the time you come see me, I'll be sharing, well, specifically strategies that you can use on social media to grow your business, to start a business. If you don't have products or services, where you can find those to promote, how to find the perfect type of avatar or client for your business on the likes of Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn. Well, it depends how much time I'm given, but I could speak for days on this stuff. But also understanding the psychology behind social media, and remembering that, your sole job as a marketer moving forward is to provide a solution or service that aligns perfectly with that other person's highest value. And when you can do that, you're never going to feel salesy. You'll never come across salesy. In fact, you'll be a solution provider, and you're only going to find that the ripple effect of you serving others is just going to get greater and greater and greater.
Thank you for this description of Millionaire Business School. And guys, our favorite Marketbot will be one of the partners of this event. You can join it online, so please check the link which I just shared. And the last question for today, Paul, what do you think about a future of artificial intelligence in the marketing sphere? Maybe like evil marketers, nobody needs us tomorrow. Can we delegate all marketing campaigns, advertising campaigns just to robots and enjoy the results which artificial intelligence can do today, tomorrow, or after tomorrow, when it will happen?
I think all is it's a small word, 3 letters, but all is sort of all encompassing. I don't think we'll ever get to a stage of 100% passed over to artificial intelligence, but I do feel that without a shadow of a doubt, that's where marketing has to go. Even as analytic tools continue to improve every single day. I mean, even the likes of Hyros, etc., that manage your ads and your analytics in the background, it's next to impossible to run marketing without building an analytic function that can then adjust as you go to continue to improve what you're doing. It would be crazy not to get more and more and deeper into that. I think there will always have to be this personal element, even if you just think in terms of the content that's been created. Especially if it's a personality type brand, there's going to be some essential elements of marketing that will continue to remain personal. But even I remember when chatbots came out originally, which seem old fashioned nowadays, but the old school marketers always said, well, people will never prefer a robot over human interaction. And then it turned out they were completely wrong. It was like 85% of people preferred interacting with bots rather than people, because bots got to the point and people were being distracted. So they found that bots enabled people to get to the results that they wanted faster. So I think that's only going to increase over time. I think it will get to a point where we may over rely on artificial intelligence, and then, like everything in this world, we'll naturally find a balance between where is the right fit between what the consumer feels like they prefer to get automated versus what they need from a personal standpoint and personality standpoint.
Paul, allow me please to disagree with you in this question because first of all, I love robots a lot. They are more reliable than humans last times. And secondly, now I know a lot of voice bots which are speaking like humans with all intonations, with all emotions in their voice, and people could not recognize they are speaking with robots or they are speaking with humans. Also, I cannot be sure that I am really speaking now with human Paul. Maybe it is just your very good done avatar, and really we are, and me also. Maybe there are two robots communicating. We are already in these science achievements. So, but tomorrow they will be just one thing for humans to think, because even to create posts, to write the posts, artificial intelligence already able to do today for free. So I think humans will be responsible just for thinking and to speak, to show, to be the head in the screen can be robots, or maybe not only thinking. What else human will continue?
So again, I totally accept your point. The thing we have to always remember is social UDIA. It's not what the business wants their marketing to ideally become, fully automated and fully robotic, that will ultimately make the call. It's going to be the consumer deciding, well, there's going, what amount of real people do they want to engage with, because their money at the end of the day is going to determine where the business spends their marketing budget ultimately. But totally understand what you're getting from a business, it's nirvana, but from a consumer standpoint, we're slow. Consumers are slow to engage in anything like this, but they're getting there at much faster than I think we ever could have anticipated. I mean, I've spoken at events where one of the speakers was a robot. Like, she just got up on stage and spoke. I was like, wow, I mean, how cool is that? But that was 2 years ago with Russell Brand and Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone, and there was a robot speaking also. So for sure, it's going to be there. How comfortable people will feel with it, let's see.
But you are not afraid, you do not feel this robot like competitor?
No, for sure, no. I mean, I'd love to hire them and step away completely, but as I say, only your consumer will eventually tell you to what degree they're comfortable with that.
Okay, and we will continue to promote, to arrange our marketing in the most smart way. Guys, let's study it, because it's the time now. We cannot lose this precious time. I will definitely take part in a Millionaire Business School, because Marketbot is the partner of it, and because today I'm really impressed by Paul's knowledge in this sphere. I want to swallow more and more information. Paul, thank you very much for this interview. I'm very happy that we had half an hour of your precious time. So we will continue, study, read your books, and maybe send you new